arm switch is on. Okay, Victor. Landing rocket arm switch is on. Here comes the throttle. Chevy breakers in.
Steve Austin, astronaut. A man barely alive.
Gentlemen, we can rebuild him. We have the technology. We have the capability to make the world's first Bionic Man.
Bursting onto our TV screens in 1974, The $6 Million Man became an instant hit. Lee Majors starred as Colonel Steve Austin, the former astronaut who, after surviving a horrific air crash, became the world's first Bionic Man. The television show aired for 5 seasons, and viewers all over the world tuned in to watch the $6 Million Man and his adventures with the OSI. Steve Austin became a pop culture icon of the 1970s, and unsurprisingly, some of his biggest fans were kids, and it wasn't long before Kenner started producing toys based on the TV show. Hello YouTubers, my name is Tony, and welcome to the Analog Toys Vintage Toy Review of Kenner's $6 Million Man action figure.
Attention, Steve Austin. We have a red alert. Special UN representative Ayud Nadir has escaped Interpol surveillance. Find him, Austin. Once or twice in history, something new comes along. Something so different, so exciting, it defies the imagination. This year, Kenner has that something. The $6 Million Man.
Kenner's $6 Million Man was released during the golden age of toys, the 1970s. Standing 13 inches tall, it was very clear that Kenner wanted this figure to tower above the other popular boys' action figures of the time. Over its production run, Kenner's $6 Million Man came out with 3 different figures. The first edition was introduced with an engine block. The second edition had bionic grip, and the third edition, which is subsequently the rarest, introduced a biosonic arm. Other figures, vehicles and playsets were also available in the Kenner line, but we'll discuss those in another review. So let's take a closer look at the first release of the $6 Million Man. I have to start by talking about the face sculpt. This is probably the most accurate face sculpt ever seen on a toy in the 1970s. In fact, the sculpt is so good, it even holds up against today's toys. The original figure came in a red tracksuit with socks and running shoes, similar to what he wore during the introduction of the show. Kenner's $6 Million Man action figure was designed to incorporate several play features. By turning Steve Austin's head to the right and pressing the button on his back, you could demonstrate the lifting power of his bionic arm by raising the engine block that was included with the figure. Kenner allowed children to utilise Steve Austin's bionic eye by being able to look at a wide-angle lens through a hole in the back of his head. The figure also included rubber skin over his arm that could be rolled back to reveal his bionic arm modules. Unfortunately, the rubber used for this skin easily perishes over time, and finding intact examples is next to impossible. There are a couple of other things to be aware of when collecting these vintage figures. The tracksuit was made of a fabric that moth holes very easily, and finding one with all the original elastic intact can be difficult. Also, the $6 Million Man chest logo is often missing. If you want to complete your figure on the cheap, there are lots of reproduction items available, but you need to be cautious of these when paying good money for original vintage items. One of the other major downsides to this figure was the articulation. His elbows can only be bent to 90 degrees, restricting him from the full range of human poses. His head turns left and right but cannot be lifted up or down. The hips were not manufactured with a ball joint. When compared to a G.I. Joe figure, this really limits their posability. The rotating hip creates one other major problem, and, speaking as a collector, this is the worst problem of the lot. It makes the figures more difficult to stand on their own, which is why I'm forced to use figure stands to display these in my collection. Where the $6 Million Man gets really cool is when you have all the accessories that were available, and they were numerous. 3 different outfits were available for Steve Austin. The undercover assignment outfit, which is pretty much the coolest 70s denim getup I've ever seen. The mission to Mars astronaut suit, and the test flight at 75,000 feet. The $6 Million Man could also be equipped with the critical assignment arms or critical assignment legs. These accessories increased the play value immensely and gave Steve Austin a wide array of gadgets to use on his missions. The only downside was that all these accessories had to be purchased separately. The $6 Million Man action figure was packaged in a beautiful window display box with a side panel. Quite why Kenner decided to produce a boy's toy with pink packaging will remain a mystery, but they looked fantastic when grouped together on a toy store shelf. Overall, Kenner's $6 Million Man is a lovingly created action figure and is one of the most iconic toys of the golden age. These action figures can still be picked up fairly easily, but finding truly mint examples is getting much harder. If you're seeking out a box version, they'll cost you a pretty penny, but they are certainly worth it. So that's our review of Kenner's $6 Million Man action figure. If you like this video, leave us a comment in the section below. And don't forget to click subscribe and stay up to date with all our latest videos on vintage toys.